О-о. Мимс. Сейчас. Можно мне понять. Так. Почему же ты не работаешь? Вот. Спасибо. Секунду. Пытаюсь. Стараюсь как могу. И я смогу или не смогу? Не смогу. Жаль. Очень жаль. Ну ладно. В принципе, ладно. Пускай. А через телефон я могу это сделать? А ну-ка проверим. Кстати, зарядка. MCB X1, что-то там. Бусти. Какая МС большая колбаска? Что это такое? Бонатёна. Donation Alert, спасибо, так. Платформа. Какая же еще платформа? Блин, жалко то, что небо типа того, такая картинка сама того, вентиля того, винты. Вот этих вот вертолетов. Они не двигаются. Было бы прикольно, если бы двигались. Так, я зашел вроде, да? Теперь. В принципе, это еще. взять те самые. Да. Без этого. Вот что. Все. Продолжить. Произносите правильно, Рибашов. А ранее Вася. А может вы ударение поставите, типа? Как его правильно читать, если вы ударение не поставили? Так, хочется больше феписов и на стриме, и здесь. Спасибо. Я жду, пока ты откроешь. Спасибо. Что здесь жрет? Практически ничего. Окей. Юниси. Ладно. Откуда это непонятно. ОБС. Вот все то, что жрет ЦП, больше всего жрет ОБС. И это печально. Ой, а зато памяти диска Elysium 4 гигабайта жрет. Неплохо. Процессор где-то посередине, да. Ладно. Допустим. В принципе, жить можно. Возьми тело. Респонсабилити на себя. Найдите асаулийское фазмида. Помогите Соне с проектом. Скорее всего. Так, Аннет, внушение. Я внушение прокачал. Мне очень жестко везде надо внушение, оказывается. Не знаю почему, но мне надо. Этот телефон, который которым я приду вечером без скина. Так, туда мне не надо. Что я вообще делал, надо вспомнить. Так, я пошел к этой девке. Теперь к ней пошел. Она сказала пойти за вызовым блоком памяти. Дала мне супер монтировку. Я поговорил о супер богатом чуваке. И что еще? Не помню. Так. Все-таки надо открыть морозильник. Человека спрашивать нечего. Когда ты успел с ней прийти? Ким Домини. Зачем я сюда прибежал? Так. Снег пошел, может он что-то скажет про снег.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
Снежного
What's
лимба
on your mind?
дальше. Он погоду обсуждает. Просто обсуждает погоду. Так. Все-таки хочу поговорить с той теткой. Что она мне скажет? Еще вспомнил такое. Во-первых, стенка.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing
Есть
to see here.
концептуализация, ясно. Так, она пошлет меня? Да, она меня пошлет. И эта дверь. Эта дверь открылась. Ты слышишь журчание воды, кто-то моет посуду. Ну, давайте пойдем. В смысле? А если я сейчас туда вломлюсь просто в ногу? Нет, я не могу. Мне это не поможет. Кто-то моет посуду просто. Пройти я туда не могу. Это обычная монтировка. Нет. Что? Ладно. Просто кто-то моет посуду. Непонятно. Здесь.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
А что мне надо ей сказать? Карта. Аннет. Внушение. Аннет. Где она? Джойс Мессия. Рождественская волна. Легендарная. И концептуализация. Карта на стене. Какая карта на стене? Ну, серьезно, карта? Техника, риторика. Ну там же концептуализация. Сейчас это... Ладно, Джойс Мессия. Что-то у нас есть там.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Так что мне уже сообщили, что он удалось обнаружить. И конкретно расположение этих школы на данный момент.
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the Union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Это может занять некоторое время, она занимается.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, it's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted.
We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
Ах, мне надо было с ней поговорить, чтобы...
If you mean, did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Courty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Courty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face. Then,
I can't remember.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
Ой, кто это? Кто здесь? Признавайся, я тебя вижу. Я тебя вижу. Страшно.
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed, this matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes, ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
О. Одежда плохо подобрана. +1 штаб. Логика. Высокие шансы. Так где же эти? Реально, чё она молчит? Говори быстрее, тетя.
One is obviously the scat leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the Lorraine drivers.
Так. Еще один устроил наблюдательный пункт в одном из зданий к югу от перекрестка. Он следил за тем, как ты опрошил водителей грузовиков. Еще портой поворот верзила к рабочей одежде не по размеру. Лидер антистачников.
That may be so.
Возможно, он сохраняет
I still hope you heed my advice.
бдительность.
There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
Поколебимость, я все же надеюсь, вы последуете моему совету. Нет никакой необходимости ворошить это семейное
For
гнездо.
all your talk of
Постоянно
averting this
говорите, что
catastrophe,
необходимо
the situation
избежать
at the gate is
катастрофы.
a powder
Но
keg.
вот сейчас
Does this not bother
настоящая
you?
пороховая бочка. Неужели вас это не волнует?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied.
Разумеется,
How
волнует,
would my
лейтенант,
employer
но не
react if it
следует
appeared I were
волноваться.
intervening on
Что
behalf of
скажет
the
мой
Union?
работодатель, если выяснит, что я вмешиваюсь в дело на стороне профсоюза?
Your concern may be appearances.
Как это
Ours
будет
is keeping
выглядеть?
the
Мы
peace.
же о том, как сохранить мир. Вероятно, один из них расположился на здании и наблюдает за перекрестком. В каком здании?
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Здание невозможно попасть.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better.
Какое сулейман?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Для них это личная инициатива. Разрешать крики чаек.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Счет не на неделю, а на дни. На этом пока
I
все.
am sorry to have been the
Я не
bearer of
могу
bad news.
рассказать мне об этих
If there is
татуировках.
anything else I can... Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence,
Секунд 30 в полной
It
тишине.
was taken with a Trigat not long
Там
ago.
на триган.
This is the man's upper
На
body.
тригат.
There were no more
Фотографии
markings
тоже
on
смещены.
his hands or
Как
legs.
на ВК,
her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. What cities? On the oceans? This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Delorian century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
Ну это внутренняя империя, я отвечу и так, как есть, и как это было.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
Не сохранил. Я типа это ей сказал. Спасибо.
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
Да, она просто целая книга энциклопедии. Сколько в ней информации.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world. Or
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for an adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer.
Oh.
It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Так. Так, могу типа их поспрашивать, да? Это не лучшая идея. Я тоже так думаю.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
Так. Можно мне поиграть? Да? Спасибо. О боже.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. Now, what else can I do for you?
Понял. Ого. Бронь минус 2. Почему? Нифига себе сила воли дает. Внушение. Можно внушение сильное? Давайте я сохранюсь, да. Нет, 2 очка получится, ну гулять, ну. За. Сначала пойдем так. Ну что, стена? Говорим.
Just an ordinary war. Nothing to see here.
Не телеком специализация. Я понял. А что у нас там концептуализация? Эмпатия. Так, риторика, концептуализация. Это развитие, чуткость и искусство нахрен. Вас. Драма. Длительно дать в себя. Скажи за убеждение на своей интеллектуальными баталиями. Риторика. Риторику покачать. Внушение покачал. Ожесточенно. Ну, знаю я очень почему-то много. Энциклопедия реально жестко работает. Так, интеллект. На тройку. Психика на тройку, моторика на четверку, типа у меня, да? Но что-то мне дает четвертую штуку здесь. Психика такой же осталась, такой же, и моторика. Моторика осталась такой же. Что-то мне дало буст к этому. Какая-то мысль, да? Сумрак минус 1. Эмпатия плюс 1. Покажи проверенную зеленую сферу. Серьезно? Сила воли. Восприятие. Лимит улучшения повышается до 5. Серьезно? У меня эквилибристика до 6. Но я и не качаю. Эквилибристика, информация. Отлично подойдет акробатам, ворам, деловым острова. Эквилибрист, вы будете стараться выставить себя в самом выгодном свете, жить в стиле диско. Вы обойдетесь всех с пластикой, с изящного сайта, внезапно появитесь на глазах у изумительной публики. Шумно двигаться. Ну блин, это звучит клево, но до 6. Давайте прокачаем. Звучит клево. Так, ты мне... Да, ты мне до сих пор посылаешь.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south.
Блин, я
It has given up
такое
all
делал.
its...
Ничего.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inactive.
Ладно. Ты мне больше сказать
Hello again,
ничего
esteemed.
не хочешь? А с ним поболтать надо.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Внушение, высокий шанс. Чего здесь не хватает? Почему здесь Почему все здесь кажется таким знакомым?
Because you know each other.
Потому
She's
что
been
вы
talking
знаете
to you
друг
so
друга.
openly
Она
because
так
you've
как-то
talked before.
говорит с тобой, поэтому, потому что мы уже разговаривали. Так ты знаешь меня, мы раньше встречались. Я не должен помнить, может. Это забыл.
Yes, maybe you're interested in books?
Так, я что-то дурацкое сделал, очень просто так. Я, получается, просто так все сделал. Загрузить игру. Что я концептуализацию? Нет, концептуализацию. Что-то игру будет пропущать. Так, надо обратно эти записи вонючие смотреть. Да, и эквилибристика. Мне надо качать. Потому что ей совсем плохо. скользким. Пожалуй, надо где-то другие сюрпризы. В середине. Пост загрузить. Надо сохранить. Я все бутылки собрал. Мне больше собирать бутылки негде. Или есть где, просто они не отмечаются. Меньше. На денег насрать не на деньги.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more?
Because you know each other. She's been talking.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
Глядя на тебя. Блин, я чуть столько контента не пропустил. Прицельно глядя на тебя, и вы считаете куда лучше, чем в прошлый раз. Что кусок дерьма. Спасибо.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
Очень медленно начинает понимать. Шальных глаз. Да, конечно, все стало на свои места.
I'm not surprised
Я
children have seen
нисколько
you
не
running around
удивляюсь,
with
что дети
party
видят
eyes
тебя
on.
рассказывающим с
Not
шальными
at all.
глазами. Думаю, там, вот нисколько.
You know, like a cat in the dark,
Кошки
all
в
big and
темноте
wide-eyed.
такие большие и
It certainly looks
чёрные,
odd on a
все
man.
смотрят. Они так странно смотрят, смотрятся, когда у людей.
The swiveling eyes of a loony
Вечно
dragon.
вращающиеся
That is
глаза
what she meant.
психа и наркомана.
You were
Вот что
probably
она
going
имеет в
into.
виду. Ты небось еще и рожи корчил.
Good thing she didn't say party eyes
Хорошо, что она
loud.
не сказала,
Her mother's
что твои
nearby.
шальные глаза громче тут рядом нее.
Fuck yeah. You
О
should get
да,
some party
пора
eyes
включать
right
режим
now.
шальные глаз
Snap
снова.
those sequins on you, boy.
Таблетосиков, а? Значит, что я употреблял наркотики. Ну, не знаю, о чем говорить, просто забудь об этом.
Don't leave us hanging like
Да
that,
ты
man.
что, не
Open
бросай
yourself
нас,
to the
мужик.
experiences of
Откройся
the
для
world.
впечатлений,
Expand your
которые дают
consciousness
нам мир.
with
Расширь
amphetamines.
свое сознание со стимуляторами амфетаминового ряда. Ты сразу не сказала, что мы знакомы.
I didn't know I
Я
had
не
to do
знала,
that.
что надо. Смущенно говорит девочка. Вот этот вот старый пердун. Не старый, но пердун. Шальные глазки. Я не знала, что надо. Смущенно говорит девочка. Ну что-то больше не хочет
I
играть.
guess we can change the
Да,
subject,
мы
sir.
можем
I
сменить
didn't mean to bring you
тему,
down.
Сколько значно, я не хотела вас расстраивать. Ладно, не поднимемся. Шальные глазки. Ким, ты превратился в инвалида или что? Давай быстрей. Вот. Что ты хочешь мне сказать?
It's dark, and the flashlight works a lot.
Только об этом ты хочешь мне сказать? Больше ни о чем. Дурацкий Ким. Так. Вот, значит, да. Холодос. Привет, Холодос. Как твои дела? Клево, наверное. Да. Ну что, пришло время, Холодос.
The This orange machine
Раскайся.
is dead still. It has a hand crank ice
Оранжевая
cream
машина
churner and
не
an
подает
electric
предмету
freezer.
жизни.
The
Она
ice around it slowly
оборудована
melted.
ручным миксером для мороженого и холодильник. По ее лед по нему оттаивает. Понемногу оттаивает. Машина отключена в перчатках.
Turning the crank is all gone now.
Но у меня же в руках этот...
This orange machine is dead still. It has. You slip your finger.
Didn't Solnak.
Equip the multi-tool by going to the Tools tab in your inventory.
Turning the crank feels it's
Так,
all gone now.
вопрос. У меня что-то залагало или что? Беру монтировку. Вот вот суперскую, да?
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank
Вообще-то
ice cream
откуда было?
churner and an electric freezer. The
28%?
ice around it.
Серьезно? Где там одежда? Грубая сила. Больше у меня вроде ничего на грубую силу нет.
This orange machine is dead still.
Пожалуйста.
Ice
Ну,
squeaks
зачем?
beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool. The lid shutters and it's already unplugged. There's not much
Уже
else to do
отключено,
other than
естественно.
wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger.
Теперь это у меня заблокировано. Грубая сила. Мне надо теперь качать грубую. 75 очков мне откуда-то надо найти теперь. Чёртова машина. Ой, нет, это говно. Одежда. Прокси уволь, вот что оно дает. А есть что-то, что дает мне что-то другое. Риторику минус эмпатия к конфликту. Это самое лучшее, что может быть. Ладно. Это не получилось.
Make way for the master.
Что ты мудай?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
What are wondering, man?
Ой, в зданиях, каких зданиях?
Your
Может,
eyes
это,
the
конечно, немножко лучше. В каких зданиях? Это точно не бабка. Фото в здании. Может, я теперь могу туда пойти? Теперь я могу надеюсь пойти, да?
You see a heavy. The door does not. The door does. The door does not. The door. The door. The door. The door. The kobold. Old kobold. It leads to us. The door does. The door. The door. The door. The door.
Да, старик ушел.
Hello, dear. It's good. Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. Yes. Field work is a young person's game.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Почему? Что-то мне подсказывает, что...
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How? I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone. No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the fact that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That
I am a queen, an extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit.
Опа. Для начала скажите, что вы правда не фальшивка.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
Так, сейчас я это скажу.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
You know, this reminds you of the Pericanasian theory of love. In essence, love is a relay out of death. Generation by generation, our love remains in our progeny. Lay some of that on her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't think the Pericarnassians were thinking of people in my situation. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived, on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it, how it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's...
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day, like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
No one can stop you from finding the phasmid.
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but... You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a...
A dream. A fool's hope, say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas tank shutters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing.
We should go too.
Хочу кушать. Сильно хочу кушать.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? You think he was hanged as a cover-up? I don't know. Oh my god, there...
Так, кушать. Кушать, 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 кушать.
a ceiling height window.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be, Liz.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney. Please, do.
It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands, you caught her off guard. Push her some more.
No. Talk to Titus. What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
It's you again. What is it?
Блин. Как же долго он туда-сюда ходит, чмошник. Авторитет, да? Что-то мне еще надо было покачать. Нет, авторитет я качать не буду. Надо что-то другое. На авторитет у меня ничего нет.
It's you again. What is it?
Я не сохранился, как всегда.
It's you again. What is it? Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
Wouldn't want a Pete of his grandma.
Goddamn right, it's nothing. The fuck are they gonna do?
It's probably more like 2,000 or 3,000, but whatever keeps their spirits up.
Загрузите, 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 загрузите. Загрузите груз.
It's you again. What is it? Yeah.
Wouldn't want a Pete of his grandma.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here. You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crip. Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, B. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men? So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
These people are trained military professionals, special forces, as you say. They're not a gang or Barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think. We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zila guns. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna see, aren't we? Yeah, like you've been up against surrounding army. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen? What do you mean, okay? No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
He really doesn't like you ruffling their feathers like that on what might be the eve of battle.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
72 чертовых процента авторитета. Тебе конец, Тит. Готовь задницу. Я тебе еще буду очку рвать, чмо, блядь. Ну нахуй, я осматриваешь зал, набитый потными мужиками. Они матерятся, пьют, харкают табаком. Знакомо? Это уже видел. Ах да, кажется, это место называлось участок 41. Тоже набито почти сугубо мужиками. Сидят за столами, ругаются и тратят время. Я понял, что вы, мужики, здесь власть. Ага. Как же иначе? Ведете себя как самые настоящие копы, пьете пиво и хуй пинаете. Он наклоняется к тебе. Теперь тебя пиво не устраивает? Еще не совсем продолжали. Не, я так набухался, что тут пивом от карету в море. Мне тоже похуй. Прямо как вам. Устраивает это правильный лад.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push, quick.
Еще удар.
Just don't antagonize.
Только не проворачивая конфликт, дело уже в шляпе. Авторитет. Меня волнует не преступник, а жертва. Ей нужна помощь. Что? Не дай ему его высить. Быстро еще удар. Только не проворачивай конфликт. Дело уже в шляпе. Почему скрываетесь?
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. blonde. That's Amon.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Сохранять спокойствие, сказал, что ты не помнишь. Что был реальность, говорил про свой номер и как плакал. Самообладание, я же качал тебя жестко, ну не подведи ты меня. Пожалуйста, самообладание, ну ты чё, реально, вот это вот.
You inexplicably change after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight.
Yes!
None of these people would ever suspect you've met her.
Ты зачем-то добавил класс после имени жертвы? Этого не замечают. Ты зачем ты добавил класс после имени жертвы? Никто этого не замечает, слишком уж. Никому не знаю.
Whatever you do not tell him.
В случае не говори, что вы
That would
знакомы.
sound off.
Звучит неправильно.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Его губки мои едва заметно дергаются. У него есть подозрение.
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
What do you think I meant? Yes, yes, and no. Got something to say about it? God damn it. Get it over with already. Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Их. Лох. Хах, погодите, жертву накрыли. Погодите, с проектом. Их. Хах. Теперь-то я могу, наверное, это пройти, да? 100%.
You see ahead the Colbot old. It leads to the door does not.
The door does not. Спасибо. Значит, мне надо сверху пойти. Дайте угадаю. Сейчас дверь будет открыта. Я прав? Так, надо сохраниться.
The door is closed. There's still a dent in the vinyl where you punched it before.
Ну пока. Мятина всё.
This little depression is all you could inflict on the door. You're just as alone as the last time. Whatever kept you company in this world, what kept you safe, has left your side, never to return again. White morning. It was morning all along. You should have seen it coming. It was right behind her eyes.
Who is it?
Tired, controlled.
This is the police. Can we come?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. The lieutenant looks toward the door as if he didn't see you pilfer that sweet peptide. He did, though. He totally did, and now he thinks less of you. Should have kept it sub rosa. Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? Here comes...
Short. 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 Черт. Черт. Я не знал, что будет так.
The door is closed. There's still a dent in the vinyl where you punched it before. This little bit, you're just as a white morning. It was morning or...
Who is it?
Tired.
This is the police.
Come on up.
Sounds like... This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked. It's been used quite a... Pharmaceuticals line the shelves.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles. Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. The lieutenant glances at the rows of pills. You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find.
Я понял. Как же по-дурацки ты одет. Да, урод. Верните, пожалуйста, мне мой плащ. Плащ. И броню. И броню. И броню. Спасибо.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Тайно взять. Ну что мне дадит это? Я возьму тайно. Что мне это дадит? Я чистый коп.
Preptide. You...
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super...
Нет. Офигеть. Это номер.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledgement.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I am Kimki Soragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments. Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. Very funky. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Yeah? It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
All right.
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her finger. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
Внезапная смена темы. Звучит интересно, вот эта внезапная смена темы. Очень интересно звучит. Ну прям очень интересно звучит. Внезапная смена темы. И что там будет? Типа ладно.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the...
Or an admirer?
Admires? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society. Clausier Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her act. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese.
Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later.
A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol, the coalition. People consider it a reasonable superpower. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out anytime, like Revachol did in its prime.
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. A night, at least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing, if you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you do? I'm afraid you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a...
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So fish. Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? I don't want to talk about shit either. What shall we talk about instead?
Were you sexually assaulted recently?
It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it? Is it? It is afternoon. Time flies, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the...
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
warming them.
We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension?
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lid. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it, into the cold wire.
Which landline?
The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling land.
That's some clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was a...
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams. You pissed it all away. All of it. Elysium.
What? No.
I'm sorry.
I know it.
She meant she's...
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
She sees them in each other's arms. She fishes a cigarette out of her pack and lights it, then looks at you with her lungs full of...
I can see the similarity, yes.
Funny.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatre craft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea. Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers. A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you. You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too. Me? What did I do? These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore. Believe it. There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all bullshit, man. I ain't compromised, especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness, protect her. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature.
Такая природа человека.
How it always does, through subtlety. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do. No. It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? Yes, Mr. Thespian here has been singing paeans to how truthful she is. She is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct, and omissions too. A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair. But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted, not with her. Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them, just not with her. You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate, probably compromised. Don't worry, it's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this. For a second, her face disappears from your cornea. Only a silvery negative remains. Still smiling, a tired smile.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. I'm 89% sure. Cool.
She sincerely thinks it's very...
How about we, why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. drinking coffee.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. The same small, heavy door. No lock in... The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You kick it, gung-ho style. Entering the premises style. But the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
Ah. Блин, при ней одевать как-то это, блин, тупо.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough. Yes? What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here, and now it's come to its natural conclusion. Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary. Somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kill. The rows are endless. Jean Vicmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness. Your brothers have left you.
Yes, I am an unrepentant spoilsport. Well, technically, the official record keeper has been known to double count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precinct stats.
I wouldn't say that. And my caseload is measly, but that's beside the...
He's not the least bit offended. He just wants you to know his caseload should be much higher.
I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made this scene into a circus. Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
Okay, style me. In the new, 20 years ago. It's what a modern cop looked like then. Was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? If not, we should move. Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
Yes?
Because you're the best qualified. No, that doesn't seem right. You look dumb if you keep the lieutenant waiting for too long.
Тварь.
The same.
Знали бы вы, как я устал. А кому я это, впрочем, говорю? Огромное спасибо. 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 Спасибо, спасибо. Спасибо, спасибо. Пока. Пока-пока, пока-пока. Пока-пока, пока-пока, пока-пока-пока. Пока-пока,